to Beautiful Mind today. We're going to be discussing the Bitcoin cycle, 1 year on the square 9. Excuse me. And we are going to discuss it from right here, this September 11th area. Just going to make that a little smaller so we're not covering it up with the square. So we are discussing this low right here. So what did we do? Well, these two spin. So what we're doing is we're now going to align the natural square here, this numbers, with the circle of this 8 octave circle, and we're going to align the other ring, the date ring, and then we're going to do a 1 year synopsis. So get comfortable as we dive into Bitcoin and aligning the square 9. You are now about to witness the strength of esoteric knowledge. Looking at our bottom is September 11th. On the green ring we would use so that the numbers would grow from a low. Aligning now the 0 point of our circle. So we would spin this around now, and now we will align this now with September 11th. We will now go take a look for 25,000, which is right here. So we will sit on top of 24.8, which is 25,000. We've now aligned the square 9 and now about to do some determinations. These red lines are 45-degree angles, or the sun moving 45 days would move to these points. And these points represent the 8 octaves of time. So let's now go take a look at our price and time. Keeping in mind, when we align the price as well, we will note that numbers on these red octaves or lines will vibrate with our time as well. So we will be looking for areas where tops and bottoms or changes in trend would occur. Moving to our first time stamp, the square is telling us now that is October 26th, and the prices from 25,000 can vibrate anywhere on these red lines, and we should be looking for them. Let's go take a look at our first timestamp. That is October 26th. All right, I wonder what happened there. Oh. Well, what do you know? Looks like it says here now, well, the average price was about 34 to 33,000. Okay, well, let's just go take a look now. So the sun has moved 45 degrees or days. Let's go see where price ended up. Well, we started off here. Here's our first 45. There's 90. Oh, looks like it stopped at 135 degrees. Interesting. Okay. Looks like a change in trend or a bit of a top there happened, and we made a low, and we've never come back below that. That's interesting. Let's move on to our next timestamp. Well, that would be another 45 days later and would be 90 days. And that would represent December 10th and 11th. Oh, I wonder what happened there. look at that, another swing top. And the pricing fluctuated between 43 and 44,000. Okay? The sun moved to here. That's our time. Price moved from 34 and made its way up to 44 and did not exceed 45. Well, let's go take a look if that's 135 degrees. Well, oh, it sure is. It didn't make it 180. It made it another 135 degrees in a swing. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go take a look at the next observation. That will be 45 days later. And I wonder if we're going to have some major action there. That represents January 23rd. It's exactly 135 days. Jesus cried out in the 9th hour, "Why have you forsaken me?" 135 days is 9 sidereal hours. Let's go take a look and see what maybe happened on January 23rd. Oh, well, look at there. Right there. Low of 38,000, and we also moved up to 49,000 before we had moved back. So, taking a look now at what happened, we moved all the way up to 49,000, which is our beginning point where we were, and we had a vicious move back when the sun had made it to here. It had moved all the way back and sat back down here, just below at 38.5, calling 39 our low, and 40. Looking at that, we know that one heck of a rally is going to take place. So we will take now the sun and we will forecast ahead 45 days and see if something tumultuous or major happens there. That represents March 10th and 11th and is 180 degrees from the beginning. Let's go see if something happened from 38,000 or 40,000 and see if something occurred at March 10th and 11th. Oh, well, what do you know? It's right there. So, we moved from 38,000 or 40 and we spun all the way around. And we've made it all the way up to 72 and 73,000 here. And we suffered now a reaction now here. So you see how sharp this tool can be. We're not done yet. Let's just continue on. Our next point where we could expect maybe a change in trend or a reaction would be probably 45 days later, and that represents April 26th. All right, well, I wonder what happened over there on April 26th. Oh, another swing top before a major move down. Oh, and that's at 60, right? Where are we between here now on this date? April 25th, 26 says 64 to 63. Oh, well, 64 and 63 vibrate right here while we are sitting here Interesting. Okay, let's go take a look at our next observation. That will be when the sun moves another 45 degrees or days, and that represents June 10th and 11th. Well, I wonder what happened on June 10th and 11th. Oh wow, June 10th we started to have this massive fall off after making our top at 69, 70,000 here. Well, we've swung all the way up to 69 and 70,000 here, following the sun, and the sun is now on this angle. Let's go see what's going to happen maybe 45 days later. Well, that won't occur until July 25th and 26th. Let's go see what happened there. Oh, right here, guys. Starting to signal that, hey, another topping area right there. What's the price? It's 68 to 65. So we're vibrating between these two octaves. And we're right here. So that's 135 degrees and 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at, because now we're at the 7th octave, right? The G octave. So it's now back to the beginning, the 8th octave. And that's going to occur September 11th. And it looks an awful lot like, to me, we might be coming back to this 49,000. We don't have to. We could certainly make it all the way around to another cycle, maybe up to this 80s. Anything can happen. Anyways, we're watching for these levels, because here we are. We're vibrating right here at this 65, and this was my target from 49. So if we fail to break above these areas here of the chart, it's going to show extreme weakness, and we'd be making our way all the way back somewhere on these red lines, and that would be starting at 60, hitting 56, back to our 53, and then 180 degrees back to 49. It can happen. It can happen. Not saying that it will happen, but let's just go take a look, okay? I'm just stating that, right, by, this September 11th, the price of this angle, is vibrating around this 48 and 49 here. So, anything can happen here. We have to, really seriously, we have to, get, majorly going here. We have to be, by September, this September is the 5th month, and on the 5th month from a halving event, we are typically topping out and pushing on the all-time highs. It has happened the last 12 years in those 3 cycles. So paying attention to that, this is the push-up breakout area, which we typically see around this month, the 5th month, and and then it gets very bullish. We get crazy bullishness, right? As I told you, and that will end April, as we were discussing. right? March and April is our 11th month and 12th month. So it's possible and likely we make it up into this 80s by around that time. Heck, we could even get higher, but let's not get like overly, hopeful. Anyways, this is where we're at, and this is how we would use this square to find the next series of tops and bottoms. So we have a very important time frame coming up on September 11th here. So let's get ready to see what's going to go on there, because our first and second is very bearish, extremely bearish. So we're not out of the woods yet, but it's getting close. Looks like we have a swing top coming in with our moon here now. The moon's about to leave Taurus. Every time we're in Taurus, we usually have a swing top. Doesn't always have to be a higher swing top. Sometimes it's a lower one, like this. So, and we are equaling this last moon swing top here. So just be mindful of that cycle. Okay guys, peace and love.